Hi, this is Kim Richardson of Prestige Subaru in Asheville, North Carolina. I'm here today with the 2020 Outback Limited in Cinnamon Brown Pearl, and I'd like to show you what's new on the 2020 Outback. Let's start at the front of the vehicle, where there have been some really nice upgrades. LED headlights, both high beam and low beam with high beam assist, are standard on all 2020 Outback models. You can also have steering responsive headlights in the Limited and Touring models, and stacked vertical LED fog lights. Both of these features are going to give you enhanced visibility in low light and night driving situations. The high beam assist is also going to help oncoming traffic not be blinded by your high beams if you happen to forget to turn them off. Another nice feature that's available on the Outback Onyx and the Touring models is a front camera. A 180 view camera here on the front grille that gives you a nice open view front environment of the vehicle, so that if you do have to pull out of an intersection or a parking garage and you're having difficulty seeing on either side, you're going to feel a lot more confident making that move out into traffic. A lot of people have been saying, when are the mirrors going to fold in on an Outback? This year. On the new 2020 Outback Touring, your side mirrors are no longer a manual fold. It's a one button push on the driver's door panel that'll make the mirrors automatically fold in. Oh, and if you're a parallel parker with a little bit of concern and seeing that curb there, the mirrors on certain models are actually going to tilt down when you shift into reverse, which is going to give you a little bit more certainty when you're trying to place your Outback in those parallel parking situations. One of the things I'm most excited about, people have been asking for a while, when am I going to be able to open the rear gate without having to get to the key or get to the button? The new hands-free power rear gate. So if you're packing boxes in and have the key in your pocket but can't get to it, just hold your hand over the rear gate emblem and it'll automatically open for you. That way you can load in your cargo without having to fumble for a key or with the button on the gate. Cargo cover is still stowable underneath the floor, and you do have a temporary use spare tire in the back. But if you're an adventure type and you're ready to go out into the wild open, in the Onyx XT, you have a full-size spare under there. Pretty nifty. When we go to close the gate, let's say we've got everything we need. We just want to lock the car, but we again don't want to have to hit our key that's in our pocket or our bag. There's a close button and a lock button. Hitting the lock button not only closes the gate, but also locks all of the doors. So you can walk away with all your stuff and your Outback's secure. Here's the biggie. The 2020 Outback has both a 4-cylinder 2.5-liter engine and a 2.4-liter direct injection turbocharged XT turbo. Well, the 4-cylinder is going to give you 182 horsepower, more than previous generation Outbacks. It's also going to give you 177 foot-pounds of torque and allow you to tow more than an Outback has been able to at 2,700 pounds. If you choose the XT, the turbo engine, you get 260 horsepower, you get 277 foot-pounds of torque, and your towing capacity grows to 3,500 pounds. That's the most an Outback has ever pulled. When you look at fuel efficiency, the 4-cylinder non-turbo has a cruising range over 600 miles with its estimated MPGs. The turbo, you think you'd lose a lot. You're still over 500 miles on your cruising range. You've got 18.5 gallons before you have to fill up. That's a lot of doing what you love and not a lot of time at gas stations. Let's get inside and see what's new on the inside of it. That's the new driver focus. Not only is it a safety feature, but the infrared scanner scans the driver's face upon entry of the vehicle, welcomes the driver in the center information display, and sets the mirrors and the seat position and climate controls to the driver's preferences. You can program up to 5 different drivers in driver focus. That's pretty convenient. One of the first things that you'll notice in the new 2020 Outback is the 11.6-inch multimedia screen. In the past, in the Outback, you've had eyesight. The safety switches for those used to be in front of the driver's left knee, which could prove to be difficult to see while moving. But now, in the 2020 Outback, those switches are just one press away on the center information display. Pre-collision braking, lane departure prevention function, and blind spot and rear cross traffic alert easy to get to and change the settings on so that you can keep your eyes on the road rather than fumble with buttons down in front of your knee. You're used to adaptive cruise control, which allows you to drive and keep a distance between you and the car in front of you. Now you have all new advanced adaptive cruise control with lane centering. This relieves some of your stress of driving by helping you with steering, braking, and throttle management, centering the vehicle while you're on cruise control behind the car in front of you. When you're on a long trip, when you might get drowsy, with the driver-focused distraction mitigation system, the infrared scanner scans the driver's face to make sure that you're not looking away from the road for too long and to make sure that you're not getting drowsy and looking away from the road. If it senses that, it will actually give you an alert to stay alert and stay alive. With your eyesight system, you're used to an audible warning and a visual alert behind the steering wheel. But now with the 2020 Outback, you actually have a heads-up display. Here in front of the driver, there are actual LED lights that reflect into the windshield. So let's look in the 11.6-inch multimedia screen and see what's new there. Auto vehicle hold, new for the 2020 Outback. Turning on the auto vehicle hold employs the electronic parking brake here in the center console, so that if you're in traffic, let's say you're in a traffic jam, you're going to press your foot on the brake. With the auto vehicle hold, it will actually employ the electronic parking brake so that you can remove your foot from the foot brake. Your brake lights stay on, you stay safe, but you don't get fatigued from having to hold down the brake pedal for extended periods of time. Again, if you don't want to use that feature, one touch and it's turned off. With your driver assistance, easy to find those switches. And then one more new thing, auto start stop. Auto start stop allows the Outback to stop when the engine isn't needed, say at a traffic intersection. As long as the conditions have been met as outlined in your owner's manual, your auto start stop may turn the engine off at that intersection as long as the driver's foot is on the brake. Once the foot is lifted off of the brake, the engine starts back immediately and you take off with no delay. It actually gives a little bit of a sense of calm in a crazy busy world. But if you're not a fan of it, one touch turns it off. Remember though, it will restart every time you start your Outback. This screen encompasses everything, from your radio to your navigation, vehicle information, and more. With a large map display, don't worry about getting lost. You're going to be able to find your way. Radio with Sirius XM and also USB and auxiliary ports so that you're able to get whatever entertainment you'd like to have. There is a CD player that can be accessorized in the console or that is standard on the touring model. One other nice thing about the 2020 Outback, and we've been waiting for this for a while, those of us who are not big fans of the summer, heated front seats and ventilated front seats. That's right, on the Outback Touring, you can have ventilated front seat positions to cool you down when the summer gets way hot. You're looking at the 2020 Outback because it's a safe, reliable vehicle for you and your family. And here's one thing that the Subaru can do for you that maybe you're not able to do for yourself. If there's an accident, Subaru Starlink Connected Services can call an operator and send a GPS signal to that operator so that they know where to send help. With these two buttons in the overhead console and Starlink Connected Services, you could have a subscription service that calls for help in the event of an accident where the airbags deploy. In the event that the airbags don't deploy, all you have to do is hit that red button and an operator is contacted. Hit the overhead blue button, and that calls Enhanced Roadside Assistance. They'll come help you change a tire, if you run out of fuel, if your battery dies, if you lock your key in your car, they'll come and help you. Your 2020 Outback comes with Subaru Connected Services Safety Plus package, 3 years of that service, which includes everything I've told you about so far, plus diagnostic alerts, vehicle condition checks, vehicle health reports, and more. For only $75, that's $25 a year, you can add Subaru remote services so that from your smartphone, a tablet, a computer, you can access the My Subaru app and you can remotely lock and unlock your Subaru. You can operate its horn and lights if you lose it in a parking garage. You can find it on a map if you forget where you parked it. And for those Subarus that have keyless entry and push button start, you have remote start with climate control. That means no matter where your car is or where you are, if you have signal, you can start your Subaru, tell it what temperature you want it to be, and it's ready to go when you are for $25 a year. And if you're planning to keep your Subaru for 7 years, that's still just $374.95 for all those services, including the remote services with remote start. That is a lot less than getting remote start installed on your Outback. And it's with you everywhere you go. One last thing, if you're doing a lot of business travel, or let's say you're traveling a lot for fun and you want a little help, you don't want to have to look stuff up on your smartphone, you can subscribe to Starlink Concierge Services. That way, you hit an overhead console button, connects you to an operator, and you're able to ask them for help with directions, and they can send those directly to your navigation head unit. You can ask them to make reservations for you or get event tickets. Easy breezy. So that's just a few of the things that are new in the 2020 Outback. I hope you'll come and see me. I'd like to show you how it drives, because once you get behind the wheel, you won't want to give me back the key. Thanks. This is Kim at Prestige Subaru. Bye-bye.